silent. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining. Today is a wonderful day, Wednesday, 12th of November. In this human form of life, we have got the opportunity to continue reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam by the mercy of Guru Parampara and Srila Prabhupada. So let us continue our reading, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Ram Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमती दिवांग गोदेव की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमती दिवांग एसी भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON and BBD Founder-Acharya श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमती दिवांग भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत गुरु वैष्णव की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर के जय। श्री गोस्वामी की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोकुल श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया की जय। यमुना मैया की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। भारती देवी की जय। श्याम वेत भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि बो। All glories to Asema devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Asema devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Asema devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. So we are continuing our reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Before we begin, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Liberation. We are on chapter 21, the dynasty of Bharat. I mean, it's written text 12, but I consider yesterday His Grace Nrsimha Kavach Prabhu also read text 12 as well. So I have prepared from 13 onwards, 13, 14, 15, 16, because 16 has the purport. So anyway, since it's written here, we will still recite 12, and then we will go ahead. Na kamaye, Na kamaye aham gatim ishwarat param astaradhi yuktam apunaha bhavan va artim prapadye akhila deha bhajam antasita yena bhavanti adukha Na kameham gatim ishvarat param astarati yuktam apunarbhavam va artim prapadye akhila deha bhajam antasito yena bhavanti adukha na kamayaham gatim ishvarat param astarati yuktam apunarbhavam va artim prapadye akhila deha bhajam antasito yena bhavanti dukkha na kamayaham gatim ishvarat param astarati yuktam apunarbhavam va artim prapadye akhila deha bhajam antasito yena bhavanti dukkha. Na kamayaham gatim ishvarat param astadi antasito yena bhavanti dukkha. Na kamayaham gatim ishvarat param astarati yuktam apunarbhavam va artim prapadya akhila deha bhajam antasito yena bhavanti dukkha. Na kamayaham gatim ishvarat param astareti yuktam punarbhavam va arti prapadya akhila deha bhajam antasito yena bhavanti dukkha. Akamayaham gatim ishvarat param astareti yuktam punarbhavam va arti prapadya akhila deha bhajam antasito yena bhavanti dukkha. Anyone else? Okay. Na, not. Kamaye, desire. Aham, I. Gatim, destination. Ishwarat, from the Supreme Personal Godhead. Param, great. Astariddhi yuktam, composed of the 8 kinds of mystic perfection. Apuna bhavam, cessation of repeated birth, that is called liberation or salvation. Va, either. Artim, sufferings. Prapadye, I accept. Akhila deha bhajam, of all living entities. Antasthita, staying among them. Yena, by which. Bhavanti, they become. Adukha, without distress. So, we will cover text 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. Yesterday 12 was covered and 13, 14, 15 doesn't have purport, so we will go through all of them. They both are related. So please make a note for the online audience as well as the title. Up to text 16 we are covering. Translation. And purports by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. I do not pray to the Supreme Person of Godhead for the 8 perfections of mystic yoga. Who is speaking? So, Ranti Devi is speaking. He is speaking saying, I do not pray to the Supreme Person of Godhead for the 8 perfections of mystic yoga, nor for salvation from repeated birth and death. I want only to stay among all the living entities and suffer all distresses on their behalf, so that they may be freed from suffering. Purport. Vasudeva Datta made a similar statement to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, requesting the Lord to liberate all living entities in his presence. Vasudeva Datta submitted that if they were unfit to be liberated, he himself would take all their sinful reactions and suffer personally, so that the Lord might deliver them. A Vaishnava is therefore described as being para dukha dukhi, very much aggrieved by the sufferings of others. As such, a Vaishnava engages in activities of the real welfare of human society. So text 13. Kshuta tris shramo gata paribhramascha dainyam klamah shoka vishada moha sarve nivritta kripanasya janto jijivinshor jiva jalapanan me. Translation. By offering my water to maintain the life of this poor Chandal who is struggling to live, I have been freed from all hunger, thirst, fatigue, trembling of the body, moroseness, distress, lamentation and illusion. Text 14. Iti prabhasya paniyam mriyamana pipasaya pulakasya dadad dhiro nisarga karuno nripa. Having spoken thus, King Rantidev, although on the verge of death because of the thirst, gave his own portion of water to the Chandal without hesitation. For the king was naturally very kind and sober. Text 15. Tasya tribhuvanadhisha phaladaha phalam ichchatam atmanam darshayam chakrur Maya Vishnu Vinirmita. Demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who can satisfy all materially ambitious men by giving them the rewards they desire, then manifested their own identities before King Rantidev. For it was they who had presented themselves as Brahmana, Shudra, Chandala and so on. Let's concentrate on here. Text 16. Especially these translation purports are very important. We should just focus on this. Translation 16. Savaitebhyo namaskritya nihashango vigata spriya vasudeve bhagavati bhaktya chakre manah param. Translation. King Rantidev had no ambition to enjoy material benefits from the demigods. He offered them obeisances, but because he was factually attached to Lord Vishnu, Vasudeva, the Supreme Person of Godhead, he fixed his mind at Lord Vishnu's lotus feet. Purport. Sri Naroda Das Thakur has sung, Anya Deva Shraya Nai Tomara Kahinu Bhai E Bhakti Param Karam. If one wants to become a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, one should not hanker to take benedictions from the demigods. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, 7 chapter verse 20, Kamaiste teir hitagnana prapadyante anya devata. Those befooled by the illusion of the material energy worship gods other than the Supreme Person of Godhead. Therefore, although Rantidev was personally able to see Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, he did not hanker to take material benefits from them. Rather, he fixed his mind upon Lord Vasudeva and rendered devotional service unto him. This is the sign of a pure devotee, whose heart is not adulterated by material desires. anya vilashita shunyam gnana karmadi anavrita ahanu kulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalaka Chakshurmitam Yena Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagadapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are very blessed that we are reading through this wonderful pastime of King Rantidev. From that perspective, he doesn't have anything to give. He doesn't have anything. Even the food, I mean, it's just a basic requirements. Just a food and water he has. He doesn't have money right now. Still, the beggars are coming. And of course, now we came to know that they were demigods, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma and others. Somehow they were testing. What is he doing? Sometimes that test comes in our life as well. We have to go through. So then, gradually he gave everything. Initially started with food and then even the water. And finally, after giving the water, as yesterday Prabhu was mentioning, he was very satisfied. Like sometimes somebody comes to us and then he is asking, especially when we are hungry. I can tell myself, of course gradually it's changing by this wonderful process of devotional life. But still, you like gulam jamun, laddu, and then somebody comes and wants to share, whether it's a wife or whether it's someone, a brother, and you say, oh no, how can I share with you? Even though we may have plenty. But here, he is sharing freely, without any that dissatisfaction in the heart. He is satisfied. And here, he is saying that I do not want, in that verse 12, he is saying, I do not want any perfections of mystic yoga, nor do I want any salvation from birth and death. And that's pure devotional service. And then it's continuing. So he is saying, after giving the water, he says, now my thirst, my hunger, my fatigue, my moroseness, distress, lamentation, and illusion is also gone. And on the top, he is saying, I don't want anything. So what he wants? He just wants to focus on the Lord's lotus feet. He says, in the verse 16, he says, I just want to fix my mind on the Lord's Vishnu's lotus feet. And on the top, he is saying, he wants that for himself and for others. What he wants? He says, so that they may be freed from suffering, from all the suffering. Similarly, here it's mentioned Vasudev Datta. And then of course we have Prahlad Maharaj also. Prahlad Maharaj also did the same. He prayed that I may continue suffering. I want to stay here and help these fools who are forgetting the real goal of life. And they want to go back home, back to Godhead. So, of course, this verse is, what is he saying? Is giving us the glorification of pure devotional service. These are the verses of glorifying pure loving devotional service. And the second point is saying is how Lord's pure devotees attached to Lord's pure devotional service. We may not be on the standard right now, but one should progress towards this highest level of loving devotional service. That we don't want anything except Lord's, focusing on the Lord's lotus feet. Let my mind be fixed on the Lord's lotus feet. And of course we have Radha Vallabha here. Let our mind be fixed on Lord Radha Vallabha's lotus feet. Of course, Radharani's lotus feet is not visible. Those who are doing the nice dressing, deity worship, they can. That means we should aspire for that service. And Prabhupada starts the 16th verse purport with wonderful prayer, and that we sing. Only the half four stanza we sing, and the remaining 5 stanzas we don't sing every day. But this is part of that Guru, Sri Guru Charana Padma, right? The same what is displayed here, Narottam Das Thakur. He has written very nicely. What he says, this is the 9th one. This is the verse 9. So the verse 9 it says like this. Bhagavata Shastra Marma Navavidha Bhakti Dharma Sadai Karoibos Susvena Anya Deva. This is what Prabhupada has mentioned. Anya Deva Shayanai Tomara Kohilo Bhai E Bhakti Parama Bhajana. So translation, what is translation? He says, I shall eternally engage in the 9-fold process of devotional service. What is this? Shravana Kirtan Vishnu Smaran. Like that. Which is the essential message of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And I shall not worship the demigods. Oh brother, I say to you, devotional service is the most exalted kind of worship. So this is what Prabhupada starts with that. And then Prabhupada focus on the other aspect of offering obeisances to demigods but not asking for anything in return. So this is something one gradually learns, especially if you are coming from Indian background, then you would see, at least when I was growing up, I knew like, oh my, so many gods are there, and then sometimes you get confused, who is supreme? Actually you don't put any efforts thinking about who is supreme, you just go with the flow. So if parents are saying, you go to a temple, so you go to temple. You go to temple of Lord Ramchandra, then you go to temple of Hanumanji, you go to temple of Ganeshji, you go to temple of Shivji, you go to temple of, in Gujarat, not much Durga, but Saraswati, Lakshmi, and then of course our Krishna. Temples are there, and of course nowadays so many concocted temples are there as well. But then you go there and you pray, and normally what one person prays is get rid of XYZ, this disease, that disease, or I want something for my school kids. They are going through the exam. I remember, I was praying like this. Year 10, year 12 exams. Hanumanji, help me with the exam, you know. But then, as we progress in this spiritual life, as we come to real self-realization, as we understand who is Krishna by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara, the devotees, then we come to know, so Krishna is supreme and all other are servant of Krishna. We are all servant of Krishna. That means Krishna is supreme, whatever he wants to provide, he will provide. A time comes, he will provide. I don't have to bother separately asking for what I want. He will provide. I may present my request, but I don't have to bother him for that. That standard may come gradually or it may come straight away. One person, depends on the person's realizations. I'm coming from Lord Shiva's background. I still do worship. The way I was worshipping is a little different before, and now I'm worshipping differently. The only thing I can remember is I didn't ask anything. Like my grandparents and my parents, they taught, we go to Shivalaya and then we worship Lord Shiva. It was just behind our grandparents' house, Somehow they constructed like that. You can see through the window, Shivling. You go and pray, and then my grandparents, they taught me, write Om Namah Shivaya in the notebook. Diwali time, we will just fill up that notebook full, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Divide into 3 columns and write down so many times. The only thing is, I didn't pray to Lord Shiva separately for anything. That's I remember. Hanumanji I prayed, but somehow Lord Shiva I didn't pray. And similarly here, the demigods are coming, and then this King Rantidev, he is offering obeisances. So nothing wrong with offering obeisances to demigods. Initially when we practice, we may become like little fanatic in the sense that, okay, now I worship Krishna, so that I don't bother. But Prabhupada showed us how to worship demigods. Actually, there are many different pastimes, especially in front of Durga, in front of, there was one temple. I remember just before Pandal program, then Prabhupada happened to go past by that Durga's temple. And Prabhupada offer obeisances. So nothing wrong with offering obeisances. But for what purpose we are offering obeisances? Is it something to ask something from them? Or we are offering obeisances out of respect, that knowing their position, that yes, they are wonderful devotees of Lord Vishnu. They are taking care of this devotional side of maintaining and annihilating. Lord Vishnu is maintaining, Brahmaji is creating. So creation and the annihilation, they are taking care of that side. They are serving Lord Vishnu. They themselves are not hankering for any worship. Rather, somehow, if one doesn't have that proper understanding, he is worshipping out of material benefits. So this is that point, that we can offer obeisances, but then we don't ask for anything in return. So, from that perspective, another point comes here as part of the verse is unflinching or unflinching devotion to Lord Vishnu. The second part, he fixed his mind on the Lord's lotus feet because he was factually attached to Lord Vishnu. And then previously also, that he didn't want anything except he wanted to focus on loving devotion to Krishna. So this point comes as well. And this is what Krishna also says. And Prabhupada has also confirmed. Anya vilashita shunyam gnana karmani anavrita anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama. That this is the highest platform of devotional service. Of course, we may have different levels, but the highest is pure devotional service. We just want Krishna's pure devotion, nothing else. We don't want any transaction from him. So, this is, Krishna also confirmed what he says. Of course, this one verse we covered, chapter 7, verse 20. Kamestes te hitagnana prapande anya devta. That don't worship anya devta, even if you have material desires. Then he says, do something which is very nice, important. What he says, chapter 9, verse 34, and chapter 18, verse 65. He says, Man mana bhavat bhakto. You become my devotee. You become my devotee. And then there is another verse in Bhagavatam, which verse he says, Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udara. Even if you have some desires, you go to Krishna. Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, 4 kinds of people come to me. Chaturvida bhajatema. Right? 4 kinds of people come to me. Asking for what? Benefit. And that is also very nice. Because what will happen? Gradually, we will purify. What happened to that thief? You remember the story of thief? So there was a Bhagavatam class going on, Bhagavatam session was going on, and then this thief, thieves are always around, especially when the crowd is so huge. So they just want to take that opportunity, that when they can steal some money or steal some items. So this thief, he was also there, hearing somehow. No, actually he was not hearing, he was focusing on the opportunity. Somehow the words came to his ears, that in Vrindavan there is the beautiful boy, very, very nice, beautiful, attractive boy. He is not it's not like an adult, so it's easy for him to steal. He's a boy, nice boy, and he is wearing so many ornaments made up of gold, silver, etc. And he is playing around with his friends and without any care. So this thief, when he heard, he's like, wow, now I want to steal the earrings from Krishna. So then he wanted to go to Vrindavan first, because that's where he will find Krishna. So then on the way he is thinking about Krishna. When can I reach? When can I reach? When can I find this boy? And then I will steal. So he reached. Finally many days travel. He's maybe coming from south or west, doesn't matter. Very distance he's coming from. Right? And then he went to Vrindavan. He landed in Vrindavan, just like we land in Vrindavan by plane. But then actually he reached by feet. And then he is looking for Krishna within Vrindavan. He is asking, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Finally he met Krishna. Then he developed a relationship, friendship with Krishna. He developed a relationship with Krishna because he was waiting for the opportunity. And then finally Krishna was becoming comfortable with him, maybe allowing him to come closer. And finally he's asked, Krishna already asked, you wanted something? He said, no, now I don't want. I don't want anything. Now I want just you. Because he came through that meditation on Krishna, through the association of Krishna, now he is purified. And that purification happens only in devotional service. If we come to the devotional aspect, if we are doing some bhakti related to Krishna, then only that purification of the heart happens. Otherwise, the hankerings will go on. Even if we get the the boon from demigods, it will not purify our heart. What happened to this Ravana? Then Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh, they did so big tapasya. They pleased Brahma, Lord Shiva, and they asked for boon. What the boon they asked? They didn't ask for loving devotion to Krishna. Rather, they asked for some material benefit. And what happened? Finally, those material benefits vanquished. But when Krishna touched them, they became purified. Right? So, this is what is given here. That somehow the touch with Krishna will purify us, and that touch will become so high, so dense, that eventually we will say, okay, I don't want anything other than Krishna's pure devotion. Mama janmani janmani swaye bhavtat bhaktir ahito kitvaye. Right? So that's one point. Now, similarly, Krishna also says, so in between, he says, chapter 9, verse 27, Yat karoshi yadasnasi. Just focus on myself. Whatever you are doing, just do that for me. Because then, gradually, it will purify you. Gradually, it will purify you. Otherwise, if you go somewhere else, you will not get that purification. And that this King Rantidev, he understood that yes, I'm offering obeisances to you, but I'm not asking any benefit or benediction from you. My dear lords, please let me focus my mind on the Lord's Vishnu's lotus feet. And this is the same thing given by Prabhupada as well. Prabhupada and all the Guru Parampara, they also teaching us the same. That you approach Krishna and you ask for his service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
This is why Srila Prabhupada has nicely given the purport on Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He says, "Oh Mother, dear Radharani, please engage me in your Krishna's loving devotional service. Nothing else." Right? This is how he has translated the meaning of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That I don't want anything else. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavita vajagdesha kame, mama janmani janmani sware, bhautar, bhaktir, ahitukritvai. I just want your Krishna service, pure devotional service. And here it is also defined, what is pure devotional service? So sometimes we may get confused. Then hang on, am I doing pure devotional service or not? Sometimes Prabhupada was asked, how many pure devotees are there in the world? And Prabhupada answered differently, but very nicely, very exactly. He answered, how many devotees are there in ISKCON? Like the question was, how many pure devotees are there in the world? And then he answered, how many devotees are there in ISKCON? What does it mean? So the purpose of taking this path, coming to the shelter of Prabhupada's lotus feet is what? Is becoming pure devotee. That's the meaning. If we are working on that, if we see that goal, the highest goal, that yes, that goal is in my mind, just like he wants to focus his mind on Lord's lotus feet, we want to focus our mind on pure devotional service. I may be here, that's okay, but I want to reach here by the end of this life. From within, all the hankerings, whether he's hankering for position, whether he's hankering for money, whether he's hankering for something else, let it go. It may be there, but let it go. Finally, by the last breath, one of our recent relatives, soon they may leave the body, right? They had the opportunity of having darshan of Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra, Prahlad Narasimha, Radha Vallabh, Gaunita and Srila Prabhupada and the temple through that WhatsApp call. But they are saying, now I don't want anything. I just want to leave, Of course, but with the devotees, if we have that proper consciousness, if we develop proper consciousness, then we will come to that point. Now, my life is finishing. Soon it will finish. Within 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, I don't want anything. I just want to just remember Krishna, leave my body remembering Krishna. And that is the point. And that state will come when we are hankering for Krishna, in that pure state of mind. We are not hankering for anything else in between. So this is the example given by so many our authorities, starting with Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, his father, he said, Prabhupada, Abhay, Gaurmande, he wanted Abhay to become a pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. Right? He just say, I wish my Abhay becomes a pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. Prabhupada didn't want anything. Even though he got everything, only thing he wanted is Krishna, remembering Krishna, serving his future master's mission, giving Krishna to others. And then another example is a Brahmana. That Brahmana who was worshipping Lord Shiva. So then that Brahmana was worshipping Lord Shiva. He was very, very much a great devotee of Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva came in his dream. He said, my dear son, I want to give you something. And then he said, oh, really? Very good. You go to Sanatan Goswami. In Vrindavan, you go to Sanatan Goswami and ask some benefit or boon from him. Now, this person, Brahmana, he went there and then he found out where is Sanatan Goswami. He met Sanatan Goswami. And then, Sanatan Goswami, I want something nice from you. Then Sanatan Goswami initially handed over that diamond. But then diamond was lying somewhere there, you know. Sanatan Goswami was not focusing on diamond, rather he was focusing on his devotional service. So Brahmana got that, and then he was little happy initially, but then he thought, actually Lord Shiva wanted to give something very beautiful, very prestigious, very precious thing to me, and also this Sanatan Goswami, he looks very nice as well, Vaishnava, but then how come he gave me this? You know, he thought that why he was not like, he was focused on his devotional service, but then this diamond, he's not so like, you know, overwhelmed with this diamond. So then he went back. He said, yes, good that you have come back. What you do, you take this diamond and then you throw it away in the Yamuna, and then you come back. So he came back. And then he gave Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sanatan Goswami gave Hare Krishna Mahamantra, a devotional service. And Ramana was so satisfied. So similarly, he also went, he approached Lord Shiva, just like King Rantidev. He is offering obeisances, but he did not want. Brahmana also didn't want anything. Rather, he wanted very precious thing. Lord Shiva knows what is precious thing. So sometimes we may not know what should we ask. Then we just say, okay, you give me what is the best you consider for me. That's the best prayer. Rather than putting our item list, we just say, okay, what is the best for me? You give it to me. And they will decide based on our sincerity and hankerings. We just go through a couple of more examples very quickly. Another example is Maharaj Khatwang. You know, in this relationship, just like King Rantidev is exhibiting, that he prayed, he offered obeisances to demigods, but then he didn't ask for anything return. Maharaj Khatwang also did the same. So he was called for the fight. Demigods having a big fight with demons. Here on our scale, we have a small demons. On a higher scale, they have a big demons, you know, huge fight. So demons and demigods, they were having big fight. It happens every now and then. So then they asked for this King Khatwang from the Prithvilok, Bhutal. And then king went upstairs, Swarglok, up, higher planets. And then he fought. After some time, the war is over, they are winning. And then now demigods asking, oh, you help us very much. You seek some benefit from us, boon from us. So I don't want anything. Actually, let me know how soon I will die. He said, oh, in 1 minute, 24 minutes, you will die. Oh, really? Okay, he went, he came down, and then he focused himself on Lord Vishnu's lotus feet, meditated, and then he left the body. Prabhupada writes in the purport of Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 13. What he writes? The demigods, being fully satisfied with King Khatwang, wanted to give him some benediction for material enjoyment. But Maharaj Khatwang, being very much alert to his prime duty, inquired from the demigods about his remaining duration of life. This means that he was not as anxious to accumulate some material benediction from the demigods as he was to prepare himself for the next life. Right? So this is what we learn from the examples. That means even if we are not asking for the demigod, what to speak of from Krishna then? We just say, Krishna, please give me your pure devotion. Why waste the opportunity of prayer? Anyway, we have to pray. We are praying. So why not take that opportunity in this life and we pray for pure devotional service? Whether we are on that level or not, doesn't matter. Our prayers are right. Our prayers are correct. So not today, but tomorrow we will get that benefit. We will develop that consciousness. And another example is Dhruva Maharaj. This is also nicely explained in Canto 4, Chapter 12, verse 8. You know the incident of Kuvera, right? So Dhruva Maharaj, now he became the ruler, and then he is fighting with Yakshas because of his brother, and then fight went on, and then finally some arrangement was made that the fight can be stopped, and then Kuvera, he also came, and then Kuvera being happy with Dhruva Maharaj, he wanted to give some benediction. And Dhruva Maharaj, he said, no, I don't want any benediction. If you wish, please let me become fixed on Lord's lotus feet in devotional service. This is my benediction. Okay, here is written. The great sage Maitreya continued. This is Canto 4, Chapter 12, verse 8. The great sage Maitreya continued. My dear Vidur, when thus asked to accept a benediction from Kuber, the Yakshraj, king of Yakshas, Dhruva Maharaj, that the most elevated pure devotee, who was an intelligent and thoughtful king, begged that he might have unflinching faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For thus a person can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily, although it is very difficult for others to cross. Dhruva Maharaj was offered a benediction by the king of the kings, Kuber, the treasurer of the demigods, whose only business is to supply immense riches to persons within this material world. He is described as the king of kings because unless one is blessed by Kuber, one cannot become a king. See? Like that person, Kuber, is asking all the riches. He is ready to give all the riches, whatever Dhruva Maharaj want, however much Dhruva Maharaj want. But then Dhruva Maharaj, what he says? The king of kings, Kuber, personally offered Dhruva Maharaj any amount of riches, but Dhruva Maharaj declined to accept them. Therefore, he is described as Mahamati, very thoughtful, very intellectual. This is what the Dhruva Maharaj's position. He is also showing the path. And then another example is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj prayed in Canto 7, Chapter 9, verse 24. He prayed. What he prayed? He prayed to Lord Narasimha. This is before. And then some conversation happened between Prahlad Maharaj and Narasimha Bhagwan. And then another prayer continues in Chapter 10. So this is Chapter 9. He says, my dear Lord, now I have complete experience concerning the worldly opulence, mystic power, longevity, and other material pleasures enjoyed by all living entities, from Lord Brahma down to the ant. As powerful time, you destroyed them all. Therefore, because of my experience, I do not wish to possess them. My dear Lord, I request you to place me in touch with your pure devotee and let me serve him as a sincere servant. Just see. Prahlad Maharaj is praying this. And then Prahlad Maharaj continued in Chapter 10, verse 2. Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear Lord, O Supreme Person of Godhead, because I was born in atheistic family, I am naturally attached to material enjoyment. Therefore, kindly do not tempt me with these illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your Lord's lotus feet. So he prays, if you at all want to bestow or deserve a benediction upon me, then I pray for your Lordship that within core of my heart there be no material desires. Right? And the last, but not the least, example, the best, is how to pray to the demigods from that perspective. For what purpose we have to pray, just in case if we have to pray. What is that? The unmarried gopis of Vrindavan. Right? So this is very nicely described in Krishna book, chapter 22. They are praying to Mother Durga Katyani. The unmarried gopi used to prepare the deity. The unmarried gopis used to prepare the deity of goddess Durga and worship it with chandana pulp. Right? Actually, nothing can compare with Krishna consciousness of the gopis. Actually, the gopis did not care for Varuna or any other demigod. They only wanted to satisfy Krishna. So what is the pastime? So these gopis, they are very young, innocent girls, and they have so much attraction for Krishna. You know, sometimes we develop that in that age. And then they wanted Krishna as their husbands. Husband. So they all wanted. So then and the custom is Mother Parvati or Mother Durga is written there. If you want a nice husband, then you pray to Mother Parvati or Durga, right? Or Katyayani. So then they prepared, 1 month period, they prepared very nice preparations, and that is Katyayani Vrata, Durga. I think it will come now, in some time. Just after Kartik it happens like that. So they prayed. Every day they would go, bathe the deity, and offer flowers, worship, and then offer food, and then they will pray. My dear Katyayani, please make Krishna as our husband. If you are so pleased with our this worship, then please make our Krishna as our husband. They were all praying. And then Katyayani was saying, what is the need? Why you are so, like, every day you are praying? Oh, we can't. Now we just want him. Right? So this is the prayer. Even if we have to pray, if we have to take blessings, then we seek blessings of loving devotion to Krishna. With this, I stop here. If any question or comment.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you're talking about pure devotional service. So I wanted to ask, in one lifetime, can we cross all the stages of anartha nivritti? Can our endeavors in Krishna consciousness or our prayers to Krishna help us in crossing all the stages of anartha nivritti?
Very good. Nice question. So the question is, I'm repeating again. So we discussed about pure devotional service. So is it possible that within this one life we can reach to that level, right? All our anarthas will go away. And the second part of this question is whether we have to pray to Krishna, right? For that. Yes, recently we celebrated that occasion, isn't it? Wonderful pastime of Damodar Leela, right? And Damodar Leela shows exactly the same principle. Again and again, many times you will read in the purport, and Srila Prabhupada, he would use this word, and we recited as well, sincere devotee or sincere disciple. He would use that word. And even in the Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda was putting efforts, but not just putting efforts, but she was putting sincere efforts, like determined. She was focused that first she wants to bind Krishna, she wants to catch Krishna first, and then later she wanted to bind Krishna. She was determined, she was focused. The same way, if we become focused, that yes, within this lifetime, how is it not possible? It's possible. There are so many examples that they have become in their life, within their one life, they have become. So why not in this special mercy, when Lord Chaitanya's special mercy is there, we don't have to do anything much different. All we have to do is sincerely chant Hare Krishna, serve nicely, follow principles which are given by the parampara, and then we just execute, and that's it. What is the question of if? Actually, it's the question of how and when, right? It's just how I can do that sincere attempts. Mother Yashoda, she tried very hard. She is heavy body, it is described that way, age and like from that description is given. Still she is running. She knows she can't compete with this young child. She knows. But she is running after him, very, very nicely. And then she is putting so much efforts, and when Krishna looks back, so Krishna will also stop for us. It's not that Krishna is always enjoying with everything. One side is nice offering is going on, then he will just having nice time, enjoying the offering. No, or having a rasadas. He will stop for us, he will look back for us. Oh, how much efforts you are putting. Sincere efforts, pramanik, honest attempts, not duplicity. Even if we are not that level, we still accept, and then we put efforts in that direction, in that gradually reducing our requirements, being satisfied. And then Krishna will shower his mercy, because ultimately we need both things. By our own attempts, we can't do it. We don't have any power. But by Krishna's strength, we can do it. And that strength comes by following Guru Parampara. So when we sincerely follow, here it says, Prahlad Maharaj prayed, let me be in touch with your pure devotee and let me serve him as a sincere disciple, sincere servant. So we just follow the parampara and we will go back in this life. We just have to be careful, we don't deviate. If we shake ourselves too much, thinking what I'm going to do is right, then it's a problem. We just follow the path. We just become humble. So no matter what happens outside, external circumstances, external influences shouldn't influence our inner heart, inner core of our heart. Our focus should be on Krishna, following this without deviation. Then we will go back if we don't take a risk. Krishna says many times in Bhagavad Gita, asanchaya, do not doubt. And those who doubt in this process, they do not get the benefit. That verse is also written there in Bhagavad Gita. Those who do not have faith in the scriptures do not get the benefit. Sometimes we just chant, but then we have to have faith. Yes, in this life. Prabhupada has many times said, this lifetime only, we will go back. We'll go back. Don't take risk. So we'll go back. Especially you have more chances than me. You started at young age. You have a Vaishnava family, devotee, parents. You have more chances than myself. Hare Krishna. Granthra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Gurudeva Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Kriya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanstam Shri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathantam Svam Sajivam Shadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitanstam Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.